It's
No,
high
it's
C.
high
Okay,
C. Okay.
there we go.
Welcome everybody to the HBO Rebels podcast, episode 38. It's
Your
been.
your name is Jordan,
My name is Jordan. Yeah.
and my name is Ethan.
I don't know why I always forget to introduce us, but that's okay.
It's okay.
How's it going?
My hair is growing continually.
So I started to attempt to cut my own hair a few days
Yeah,
ago. I
that's
was
funny.
I'm done with it. And my dad has those like clipper things where you can like put
Done
the
with your
different
hair?
lengths. Yeah.
Okay.
Where you could put the different lengths on it. So
Yep.
I'm like, all right, let me just start with like a 3. And I started to buzz my hair, but my next door neighbor, his girlfriend is a hairstylist. So I texted him. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I was like, hey, is there any chance that she could cut my hair in the next like couple days or something? If whatever. And he didn't text back. So I was just like, all right, I'm just going to do it. Literally as I started buzzing, he's like, yeah, she doesn't really cut guys' hair, but yeah, she could maybe do that. And I'm like, okay, turn off. And then he's like, how about Sunday? I'm like, that's kind of far away. And now apparently like hair salons are opening again. Literally apparently starting today. So
Yeah.
I don't even know what my hair wants to do. My hair is confused. I'm just embracing it now.
I mean that's where I've been at for 2 months,
I might just cut it
and
myself though.
we're what, 2 months in. I mean, plus a little change from the last time I got my hair cut, which would have been not long before that, since we were wedding prepping.
Right.
We were discussing haircuts and whatnot. But my current, I think, go back to work date is September now. I got pushed to September.
Dang. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping that I don't really want to go back before then.
Yeah.
No, I do not. I will not go back before then.
Even still, would you have to go back? Or is that when they will open? Like, could you still work from home if you wanted to?
No, people are going back now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're crazy. But I am. That's my current whatever. So that's 3 more months, which is 3 more months of hair.
Are you gonna grow it as long as you can?
Oh yeah, no, that's been the goal from the beginning. This is the throwback.
That's gonna be fun.
Haven't done this since high school, and it's in the like manageably longest I've had it in a long time. But
It's
I'm
it's still a good look. It's obviously
still
not
is
your
working.
normal look. Yeah.
It's gonna become more normal though, I think.
Mine's starting to turn a little mullet-ish though, so I need to do something.
Is that naturally, or does that have to do with like the last haircut you got? How I used to, I would kind of get it a little longer in the front, and there were a couple times where they did it too long, and so when it grew out, it was just abnormally long in the front.
Yeah.
Because they proportioned it well.
I don't know, because the last haircut I got, which was a very long time ago, was the worst haircut I've ever gotten. Not that it looked bad, but it was not what I asked for whatsoever. Like, I said to cut a little bit off the top, and she basically gave me, like, a mohawk. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Or, like, one of those faux hawks, that,
Faux
like,
hawk, yep.
yeah. So that was annoying, but that was forever ago now. So my hair is just kind of doing, like, its natural thing. So it's interesting to see it. I did cut a little bit, but
so I was recently thinking back, like, on my hair in high school and why it did what it did, and I think it was because I would shower in the morning before school and then just leave. I didn't do anything to my hair.
I never do anything to my hair,
and so it would just
fall.
kind of hang, but it would also the curliness. So then that was like, it would just grow. Now that I know how to, I put stuff and I put it up and I have a little bit of an angle to it.
Right.
But it is going to get to a point, and it's already getting to a point where it's taking more work to hide the volume.
Right. It's interesting because I've been washing my hair a lot more than I used to. Like,
Yeah.
I don't wash my hair every single day. But
No, you're
ever
not
since
supposed
all
to.
this started, I come home and I shower immediately after work.
Yeah.
And just to feel clean and thorough, like, I'm washing
Yeah.
my hair almost every day now. And it's so
Yeah.
fluffy. And
it's great. I do the leave-in conditioner. And my hair's been happy. But you can I've been washing it more than normal.
Yeah.
And I think because it's longer too. But we're gonna see my beard, getting the beard going. It's hard
Yeah, me
to
too.
tell.
Me too.
But
I'm working on it.
I gotta fit in with Maya's family.
True.
Although her dad is very upset about her brother's beard.
Which brother?
Like Ahmad.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Just
big.
not impressive enough?
Oh no, he's like, it's too big. Cut it. Like
Too big.
Oh yeah, it started with the like, it's too big. Like you should get it. And now you can tell he's like not happy.
I feel like he barely had anything when I saw him.
It's pretty. It's getting close to James Harden status.
Dang.
Yeah,
That's wild.
like it's voluminous.
Yeah.
And so we'll see 3 more months. I've learned how to now trim around here.
Just learn how to do this a lot. Every time you make a shot, just do this.
Here's the beard.
Yep.
That's why we're gonna see. I've never. So as I said, I grew my hair out long in high school. Never grown my beard out this long.
Yeah.
Maybe about this or a little bit longer. That
I mean,
one time, huh?
You can shave, like, but you don't want to. You just want to see what happens.
Principle.
Yeah.
It has to do with like visualizing this.
Sure.
And it's not necessary. It's not essential. Like it's a combination of things.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like,
but like shaving,
nobody could
you can
cut their
shave for
hair.
yourself.
Oh yeah. No, but I want a visual representation of how long I've been inside.
I get you.
Mainly for when I go back to work. So what's interesting is when I did it in high school, it was a double reason. The longest I grew it out was I was coming home from the summer and I wanted to shock my grandpa. Like that was part of the reason. And boy, did it pay off.
Yeah.
Because I still remember him being like, what the hell? Like walking in the door and like, why do you look like a girl? Like he said something like that.
Yeah.
And I immediately went and got my haircut that day. Like
because you wanted to? Like you were just waiting that long just to show him and then you were ready? Or did you cut it because he said that?
No, I was ready. The plan all along was show it and then cut it.
Right.
But it was to get that reaction.
Yeah.
And then with my beard, I remember now my mom was coming home for Christmas or something like that. And I was like, I want to grow out my beard and shock her at the airport. And that also worked. And so this is, without realizing, I'm kind of doing that again.
Yeah.
If I go back to work, I want people to be like, what the hell? Who are you? And then I'll clean up and get back to myself. Maya wants to cut my hair, but I told her no.
I remember when I was in 6th grade after High School Musical came out, I really wanted the Zac Efron hair. And in hindsight, it was literally just a bucket head of hair. But also, I couldn't pull it off the same way Zac Efron can. And I looked horrible. And that was pretty much all of middle school for me. Into 9th grade, and then I finally learned how to contain myself a little bit better.
Interesting years, right?
Yeah.
And I've been reflecting on them a bit recently, kind of because of the hair thing, but also because of a certain show that Maya and I have been watching that has quickly become one of my favorite shows.
Which one is that?
I think this is a show that you enjoy quite a bit too.
Yeah.
And it is Boy Meets World.
I love Boy Meets World. It's been a long time since I've watched it, but I will watch it again.
If you're looking for it's gold.
Yeah.
It's one of the best shows I've ever seen. And this isn't even like because of certain circumstances. This is just an objectively great show.
Yeah.
There are not shows like this anymore.
Every character is so unique and fits such a like nice piece of the entire puzzle.
And so well done, well acted, so well written. Every episode is a banger. It's not really the best word to use, but
I love those shows where it's, obviously it's kind of mostly a comedy, like it's meant to make you laugh, but there's some like serious stuff in that show.
And that's why it's good.
And it gets intense, yeah.
I have learned something at 28 years old in almost every single episode I've watched.
Right. How far into it are you?
We just finished season 2 and started season 3.
Okay. Because it went for a while, right? 60-something
episodes. So they've gone through 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and they're in 8th grade now. High school is 7th through 12th grade.
And they, yeah.
But
I
that's
mean, you know
okay.
how long it goes, right?
I do know how long it goes. I
Like
don't know.
they go to college. Like it starts in
I
middle school
saw
and they
that,
go to
yeah.
college. That's crazy. That's a
Yeah.
crazy show.
Yeah. And you're hearing their voice change, and like everybody can relate to this no matter how old you are, because everybody went through this, everybody grew up, everybody went through those awkward years. And Maya made a really good comment, and I think a lot of people feel like this. You get older and you're like, man, I wish I could go back and redo that and do it right,
Sure.
do it better. It's like, yeah, but that's the point.
That's how you did it.
The point is, you don't, that's not how it wouldn't be that if
You
you
can
could do it perfect.
you tell people later how they can maybe do it better, but you don't get to change it for yourself. Like that's what you learned.
No.
That's what you learned, and then you can pass that on.
And it's kind of impossible
To go back in
know.
time? Yeah, oh yeah.
No. That's what I'm real. Like, you realize what like kids don't understand, and it's kind of shocking once you get older, and you're like, wow, it was the dating. The dating is really what is sticking out to me. Now that's something that I'm realizing I was not really allowed to do, but also didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where they're making out on the couch in the living room, and the parents are okay with it, and I'm like,
What?
What? And I turned to mine. I'm like, we're not going to be okay with that, right? And I don't think so, but I don't know. Like,
I guess it really depends.
it's so
Like how
interesting.
they're that's middle school?
No. That's high school.
Yeah. Still.
But it's there's a couple scenes where they're like, you want to like go out, but like going out is like, you better not do that for more than a week. And it's like, wow, they really have no concept of like what that is.
Yeah, your eyes at
And
multiple points in your life kind of get opened to a new like level of life, and you're like, "Oh, I was very stupid
yeah,
before this point."
but it's impossible to not be stupid until you
It's
learn.
it's not a problem.
Even
Yeah.
even if somebody lays it out and tells you beat for beat how it works, until you live it to a certain degree, you just can't get it.
True.
It's interesting. So it's
Uh,
been fascinating because, say that again.
Mr. Feeney, isn't he
Yeah.
like the greatest?
So he is Maya's inspiration, actually. Part of or a good part of the reason that she wanted to become a teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And that's why she's always wanted to show this show with me and watch it together, and we're getting that opportunity now because it's on Disney Plus and it's great. It was on, I think we were watching it on something else before.
In like all its full glory, right? Because I think it was an ABC show, and then it
Yep,
would
it
air
was,
on Disney Channel, but it was like sometimes edited because it's not like perfectly like child friendly all the time. So I would assume that it's like exactly how it was originally.
yeah, Friday nights. This was a primetime Friday night show.
I can't wait to watch it again. In relation to space, I started
Yeah.
watching a new Netflix show called Space Force.
Yes.
Have you watched any of it yet?
No, but I've been hearing it's not The Office, but it's good.
Hard to say. It's hard because it's not hilarious, but there have been multiple like really hard laugh out loud moments of just pure stupidity.
That's fine.
He's literally Michael Scott
Yeah.
in a like government official like branch of the armed forces leading position, and it's kind of amazing to watch with like a
That's
really
worth it.
high production value. John Malkovich is in it. He's amazing. John Ralphio is in it. He's always hilarious.
Wait,
What's
did
that
you
guy's name?
use actors' names and then
Yes.
a character's name?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Ben Schwartz.
Ben Schwartz. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not quite like 100% Michael Scott. He's a little bit more competent, but he has
Mhm.
many Michael Scott isms. And there's a moment in episode 2 where he's explaining like the current situation of what he's dealing with to the person that's driving him, and I just lost it because it's so stupid and so insane. I think you should try a couple episodes and see.
Oh, I forgot it was on there. I
Yeah.
fully planned to watch that. Now I forgot he has gray hair in it, right?
Yes.
Is there any chance? Is there any chance that this could be a sequel?
That he is Michael Scott?
I mean, I know he's not,
Right.
but like an unofficial, like years later, now he does this and he's a little more competent.
No, because he's a 4-star general.
Okay,
And I
yeah.
don't think Michael Scott could have gotten to that point after Dunder Mifflin went down.
Yeah, that's true.
maybe, but probably not. Because he
Alternate
kind of
universe
fails
thing.
upwards, you know? Maybe he did that really quickly.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
That's all I
sure.
needed.
Changed his name, got a divorce, married someone new. Oh, he married Phoebe.
Lisa Kudrow?
Yeah, she's his wife.
Wow, okay. Definitely have to watch this now.
Just
That
wait and
sounds
see.
awesome. Yeah, I'm
Something
excited. How many
something interesting
episodes?
happens to her. I think 10, but they're like 30 minutes.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
We watched a little more Community, but we're not quite done with that yet.
I keep watching Community, and I had another really hard laugh out loud moment. It just stabbed me in the chest. It was an
They're
episode.
good at that.
They're at Troy and Abed's apartment,
Mhm.
and Abed goes to the door, and he opens it, and it's the dean. He's like, "Boys' night," and Abed turns to the rest of them. He's like, "I need help reacting to something," and I
Yes.
thought that was so funny because that's
Because
exactly how I would feel. I'm like, I don't know how to think about this. Like,
the
why are you
dean,
here?
the dean is just amazing. His character is just gold. And what I love about Abed's character is he's so consistently weird that when he says certain things, it just hits you even more.
Yeah, yeah. He
And
was the only person that could have said that line that would have been that funny, but that was
exactly.
such a perfect reaction.
I remember that. That was yeah. Oh, that's a show I'll go back and watch at some point. I'm looking forward to finishing it.
Yeah.
And seeing how they wrap it up.
I've been playing a couple things too. At unless you have more
Yeah,
watching.
I wanted to talk about a couple other watching things.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit more Rebels. I don't know if you've been watching that at all.
I'm slowly making my way through. I'm in season 2, so I'm hoping
Okay,
I
I'm
won't
in
be too
season
far
two.
behind you. Okay, cool. We can both get to
How many
season 4 and then watch it.
how many episodes into season 2 are you?
Only a few, I think.
Only a few has some significant things.
It does. Yeah, there's someone in there who's making an appearance, and it's kind of wild. Darth Vader himself.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Are you ready for that?
and Ahsoka.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Um,
No.
I don't think so. Yeah,
Yep. So you're 2 episodes in.
yeah. I thought I was on the 3rd, but yeah.
So I did want to. There's a rumor. No, not a rumor. I think it's a casting call. Did you see
No.
for a 30s to 40s Asian slash they're open to Middle Eastern and another type of descent? They're casting an Ezra Bridger, or they're attempting to,
Cool.
or they're attempting to. So I don't know. I bring it on. Let's use the Mandalorian to get all of these characters into live action
And
canon.
then split off again if make more stuff cuz
See what works,
yeah.
and then where you want to give a show.
Isn't it weird though that we're using the Mandalorian as kind of the testing grounds for spin-offs? Because it should have
I
been its
think
own like crazy wild thing, and it still might be, but like
it's the testing ground. Literally, its
it
existence is the
literally is.
testing ground for live action Star Wars, for Disney Plus originals. We'll look back. And that's what I think we had such high expectations that it would be the 4th, 5th level tier show that Disney Plus, and it's like we're gonna look back and be like, wow, that was a real Wild West. Throw what you can together as a proof of concept and put a show out there.
Yeah.
And that's why they had some really weak episodes. And I'm hoping the next one won't repeat that.
I don't think it will. Obviously, they know how to take criticisms and feedback, and they can tweak stuff. It might still take a little bit of growing time, but especially with all these characters, that's gonna be awesome. Regardless.
I can't even fathom it, honestly. While we're on Disney Plus, I noticed they added a movie, which just reminded me that once they get these Fox movies in there, Disney Plus is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And so this was one that I've watched. Have you watched Fantastic Mr. Fox?
No, I just saw that they added that. I told
Yeah.
my parents, I'm like, we need to watch this because I've only heard good things about this movie.
I may have brought it up on here when I watched it.
I think you did.
Because it was on Netflix, I think, and
Yeah.
I watched it like last year. Definitely recommend it. It's just a weird, quirky, not what I quite expected, fun little show.
Did you ever see Isle of Dogs?
No, and I wanted to, but then so that's why I wanted to watch this and then that
Because
later.
it's the same director, same like art style and everything. I liked that movie, but I've heard even better things about Mr. Fox, so I'm excited to watch that one. Yeah.
Okay. Have you? So he also did Moonrise Kingdom. This is Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
I believe. Did you see Moonrise Kingdom?
No, I haven't
I
seen
saw
many
that.
of his movies. I think I've really only seen.
So I saw Moonrise Kingdom in theaters with my grandma. That was one where like I enjoyed it, but it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
But also good. And then I would say my favorite of his, Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah.
That was what Maya was super into, and we watched that.
When I was going to Budapest, I tried to Google and see. I'm like, where's the Grand Budapest Hotel? I don't think it's a real thing.
I wish, because that'd be a really cool thing to go visit.
Because I wanted to watch the movie. I still should have watched the movie while I was there, but
I don't even know if it's set in Budapest. I assume it is.
that's true. It doesn't have to be, does it? We could have like the Grand Canadian Hotel in the South Bay, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, that's a weird thing, but sure.
Exactly. So we've hit Netflix, we've hit Disney Plus, HBO Max.
Hobo.
You automatically got bumped, right?
Yes.
Because you had Now or Go.
I don't know. We have some kind of login, so yeah, we got to upgrade it for free.
Cool. Did you
watch anything?
It?
I did peruse it. My dad and I were looking through, and he was very happy to see it. They have like, well, not all, but many of the original Looney Tunes cartoons.
Oh, they do have the originals. I didn't dive into that yet.
From like the 30s.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes as seasons started in like the early 30s. Now, we were going through the seasons, and there's a lot of episodes missing for some reason.
I think they're still filling in some gaps, yeah.
But still, because they have a new show, a new Looney Tunes season, and he was like, what is this? I'm like, it's new. You may not like it. And we watched the first episode, and he did not. But I'm like, okay, if they have this, they might have the old stuff, and they sure did. So that was really cool for him.
That's awesome, and I think they've got a really good value proposition here.
For sure.
I obviously had HBO before. Their HBO stuff stood on its own, and to add a ridiculous amount of content in here and like really high tier stuff with more to come.
Yeah.
I went through and added a bunch of stuff just randomly to my list. So they've got the Alien movies. We're gonna have to watch those.
Yes.
We've got all the American Pie movies. They've got a home now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I can watch Beta House again.
They have American Pie, Pie 2, and Wedding. I don't know if they have those.
Not the like spin-off ones?
I don't know.
I've only ever seen Beta House.
Oh my god. There was a time where those were the ones that I was watching.
Yeah.
The originals are just so classic though. Aquaman though, I added because they've got the extended universe.
Still haven't seen it, right?
No, I still haven't seen it. And
enjoy.
That'll be one that I watch at some point. They don't have Man of Steel on there. That was one of the ones that are missing, and there was one other one missing that I can't think of.
Why?
I don't think anybody knows right now. They also don't have 4K HDR, which people are not happy about, but they've said it's coming.
Did regular HBO have that capability, and like this doesn't?
No.
Because I feel like I heard Tim talking about that a lot.
I think people just like to get upset when things don't have 4K HDR plus 10 Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, and whatnot, which that's fair, but it'll come.
Well, I think Netflix supports that on some things, doesn't it?
Yep.
So maybe I think that's what it is. I think those have it, and then he was always upset that HBO doesn't, because you're watching Game of Thrones, like the really dark episode, and you're like, I can't see anything. It's so compressed and looks like garbage.
That'll be interesting to go back and watch with HDR and see if that does anything. Except I probably won't go back and watch it, so I'll never know.
Just watch that one episode.
Yeah, no, I would do that.
Just because that was like the most difficult thing to watch I've ever seen in my life.
And it's a good episode. I
is.
very much enjoyed that. The Battle of the Bastards?
No. That
was before, right?
Yeah. That was actually in the sunlight.
Yeah, out in the field with where John.
Battle of Winterfell. I think it's the Battle of Winterfell.
Wow. Um, anyways, back to HBO.
Yes.
Well, I guess we were still there. Casablanca, some classic like Turner Classic movies
Love
that
that
I've never
movie.
seen.
I love that movie.
I hate that I've not seen it
Yeah.
because I'm super into old movies. I've just like it's been a really slow drip that I've picked up on them.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a few. I've seen A Holiday Inn. We watched that during the Christmas time, and there was a Key Largo, something in Key Largo. I went with my grandma to the Old Town Music Hall in El Segundo to watch that.
Wow.
Really, really hope it opens back up because it's a fun place to go see old movies. But Castaway, that's just a classic. Shocked to see this movie on there. Clock Stoppers.
I don't think I know what that is.
It is, I believe, a Nickelodeon movie that I'm realizing very much influenced me.
Clock Stoppers. It sounds very familiar.
I still love it to this day. I'm going to watch it again soon, probably, because it's one of my favorite movies, weirdly. I always thought the guy was so cool. You know?
I get that. I mean, literally, an old, like, Hot Wheels animated movie is one of my favorite movies just because of how much I loved it as a kid.
And it just hits the right, like a lot of stuff doesn't age very well, or you don't like, I don't know, it just doesn't work.
Right.
This one's cool because it's got some action, it's got some there's some stakes. Also, the opening scene is at Long Beach Airport.
Nice.
So instantly love it because of that.
I've definitely never seen this.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to, but also not a lot of people know that I mentioned that too. But also, I think one of the first times I heard Blink.
Really? In that movie?
Yep. In that movie. And that stuck somehow in my brain.
Yeah.
And so there's weird stuff like that like clearly influenced me.
Why is that on there though? Why is a Nickelodeon movie on HBO? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I'm assuming because they're still getting some licensing.
Also, I don't think Nickelodeon can but them having their own streaming service, I don't think would work.
They have their own streaming service, and it's $6 a month.
That's a lot.
It's stupid
for like just purely Nickelodeon content.
Yeah,
which is mostly garbage. Yeah.
And now my hope is Viacom CBS is working on a streaming service. Now I don't know what their pricing is going to be and whatnot, but if it includes CBS All Access with their custom shows and all of the Nicktoons classic content for a decent price, like, okay, we can talk.
Sure.
And get some other studios in there, get MGM, like whatever that may be. There's some good comedy on there. Dane Cook's Vicious Circle, which I don't really care about anymore, but it's on. I like that it's on.
It's still funny. His specials are still funny.
I saved it. Like I had to save it.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle has one on here. The Die Hard movies, Fight Club.
Yep.
Ridiculous that I've not seen it.
I've seen like 80% of it.
That's funny. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
I have been waiting for that to come to a streaming service. I remember I was in another country and it was on Netflix, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's on Netflix now." No, just in this other country.
I've seen a couple. I've seen some episodes, but I've never like made my way through that show. So I'm definitely excited to finally.
I own the first 2 seasons on DVD, but I've never seen like beyond that, except for like here and there.
That and Saved by the Bell. Just completely over my head. I had never seen an episode of Saved by the Bell until like a week ago. It was just on TV. I was like, I can see why kids like this show. Like it makes sense. I always got
that confused with Boy Meets World.
It very similar looking. Yeah,
high school set with and I'm very happy that
a wide array of kids and characters.
Boy Meets World is because it's superior. I don't even need to see the other one. Joker
will be exciting to watch it again. Yes, I forgot about that.
The Studio Ghibli movies.
See, but like, I don't know if I want to watch some for the first time on there.
Wait.
Because
we'll have a separate discussion about.
Because our experience with Howl's Moving Castle, like I want that with all of them.
I know that's one of my favorite experiences. I was not expecting that.
Yeah,
it was phenomenal.
But we watched Naruto at your house. Not Naruto. Totoro. Sorry,
Yeah, that was a whole. I think we we messed that whole thing.
It was a little bit botched. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, for whatever reason. It's so tough because we can't watch the high quality because it's the Disney dub, and the Disney dub sucks, and I'll stand by that. I'm hoping they redub it.
Yeah.
At some point. Detective Pikachu is on there, and all of Samurai Jack because they've got Cartoon Network.
Yeah, that missed me too. I was aware of it, but I was never
yeah.
I never watched that when I was younger either.
And so there's just a great Wizard of Oz. That's the last one I have on there. Just a nice.
I don't own that movie for some reason. Like, I just don't own that.
Classic. Now
and it'll probably look great too. It'll probably be in pretty good quality, I would think.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I feel like I want to get the same effect out of that as people would have like gotten from it when they did
when it goes color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
I think it was on Kind of Funny one time. I think it was someone thought that when The Wizard of Oz turned to color, that was the first time anyone had ever seen color on a screen. And I think it was Barrett. He was like, yeah, no, that's not true.
That was actually when the
world turned to color. I do remember as a kid thinking that my parents saw things in black and white.
Oh, it's craziness.
But it's weird to watch old shows like that. Like, you watch I Love Lucy, and it's like they are seeing each other the same way that you and I are seeing each other. But you can't picture it.
I had the same kind of thing when you go and watch old historical footage. And you're like, oh, everybody was like a little cartoon character running around and life was
moving super fast, yeah.
And then you make it normal speed and normal color, and you clean it up, and it's
they shall not grow old.
Those are just people.
So humanizing.
Just like you, and they just didn't have all the weird stuff you have.
I think he's making a new documentary about something. Peter Jackson.
Oh, you're thinking of the World War I movie.
Yeah,
that's a really good example. They shall not grow old.
Yeah,
I would love to own that.
I feel like that should be streaming on something too. He's making a Beatles documentary.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yes. I always felt out of the loop with the Beatles, and I knew I could never get in the loop without really sitting down, listening to them, doing some research, going through their music, and kind of coming to terms, like getting that context. Yeah. I'm so happy I've done that now, and it's not just like the Beatles are good because they were famous.
Did you see Yesterday?
No.
You should watch it.
Everybody was kind of like, meh, so I just didn't watch it.
It's
worth watching. I'll watch it.
Definitely, yeah.
On a streaming service, like, yeah. Put it on there and I'll watch it.
But I'm about to watch the Lord of the Rings movies again.
Are you doing the extended?
Yeah.
Okay, I meant to ask you. Yeah. So they didn't put the extended editions on HBO Max.
No.
I don't know if I've actually ever seen the extended editions.
I have. There was one day when my friends from high school, we all sat down and we watched all 3 extended editions in one run.
It's like 12 hours.
And it was the worst experience I think we collectively had ever had.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. One a day. One a week. Split it up into 30 minutes a day.
Kind of funny for interview. They were going to do a movie at a time. They realized that they're going to do it in halves. So they're going to do...
the last I heard was we're doing it 5 hours, whatever. And
what, for Batman vs Superman, I think, or Justice League?
4.5 hours, right?
Yeah. So they didn't want to do that again, especially without the passion of Greg. Like, the passionate people are Andy and Elise Williams from Funhouse. They're not going to have the same driving passion that Greg is going to have about a Superman movie that's going to make it last 4.5 hours and still be entertaining. So they're like, let's split this movie up into 2 parts because it's way too long. So I can actually watch it in halves now.
I want to do that. I want to say Ahmad owns that or something. It's come up in discussion a lot.
They were on sale on the PlayStation Store, all 3 extended editions for like $20, and I just did that.
All 3 for 20?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it!
I thought you owned them. I really honestly thought you owned them.
Yeah, I'll have to get it at some point. I looked it up, and it's the latest release is from like 2012 or 2013, and so what I'll probably just do wait for a 4K box set and get that at some point. Because it's the 10-year-old version is $200. now, or $100.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of out of print and not really available, and which just seems odd that that's not a thing that they should have at the ready.
Yeah, like, people are still gonna want that.
It's a staple.
100%.
One of the greatest accomplishments. I don't even know how to describe it of all time.
I mean, it literally won Best Picture.
Which is
some
insane.
Of them. It is insane.
The last one, Return of the King.
Yeah. And all three of them, I think, were at least nominated. That's impressive.
Yeah,
for being like a fantasy kind of nerdy movie. They're gone. The lightsabers are gone.
But yeah, Tolkien, right, is considered one of the greatest pieces of fiction ever created.
Yeah.
And it was like they had to do it justice. I recently learned why the Hobbit movies were so bad. Peter Jackson wasn't even doing it originally.
Okay, he got brought in.
Last second, they're like, "Come on, fix it. Just throw it together." He had no time.
That sucks.
So it went from years of planning for the originals to just make these movies.
Right.
And it's a shame.
Well, and then they just kept splitting it, I feel like, right? Like, it was supposed to be 1, and then it turned
3.
into 2, and then 3. It's like, they didn't even know what they were doing when they were most of the way there.
That's a cash grab.
I've still never even seen the 3rd one. I don't ever want to. I don't ever care to.
Really? I think I saw all 3 in theaters.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, huh?
And I loved the end of the second one with Smog.
Oh yeah,
flying. He says like, "I am death" or "I am something."
Yep.
Like, I was like, "That's so cool." And
I enjoyed the
never
first
bothered.
one too.
I don't even remember it.
I don't either.
I think it was it was pretty boring, wasn't it? Like, not a whole lot happened. It's enjoyable, but like it was
hanging out with them.
Yeah, exactly.
It could have been done better.
Yeah.
The Hobbit's one of my favorite books. It could have been done better. But I can roll with things that we have. I have no compelling reason to go watch them though, and that's a shame.
Are you excited for the show?
Yeah, and I see a lot of people saying how bizarre it'll be on Amazon, but whatever.
Why?
Because now the movies are on HBO. So you just have this like split up property.
Yeah, I can see that.
A Warner property, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
But Amazon bought the rights to make this show, so I don't care. I have access to it, so whatever.
It would be a good HBO show though. It would make sense. Like,
Amazon was trying to make it their Game of Thrones.
And that's great. I think they should have that, so I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
And HBO has actually done pretty well post Game of Thrones. I think everyone thought like, "Oh no, what are they going to do?" They've, from what I've heard, had nothing but great shows come out over and over and over again.
The truth is that they had great shows coming out alongside Game of Thrones.
Yeah, just no one ever thought about them.
People just would subscribe for a month and watch Game of Thrones, and it's like you don't have time to actually watch their other content or even care about their other content. But no, HBO that name is known for high quality ONTENT. That's what HBO stands for.
I was wondering if you were gonna like just roll with it and not even acknowledge that you said high quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna let you have that.
I did it on purpose.
Oh.
No, it's
HBO.
High quality ONTENT.
Oh. I will never forget that now. That will forever be what that means. That's fantastic. High quality content.
Yeah.
You
hear content. What it is under there. I live for the.
I really hate that part. I hate the static.
It's the only static I like because normally you hear that static and you want to break your TV.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Also because you would have the volume up really loud and then it would like switch to that and then you're deaf.
God. It's like the THQ noise too. If you have your audio cranked a little bit too high, you are gonna be deaf.
X.
THX, yeah. What's THQ? That's a game company.
Video game company. Yeah, that went bankrupt and then got revived by Nordic, THQ Nordic. I have one last thing that I discovered that I feel like an idiot that I either didn't know about or you probably know about and have already watched. A certain show apparently had an alternate ending that I was never made aware of.
Are you serious?
And that show is Himium.
Himium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this?
Yeah.
I maybe I watched it and just couldn't even accept it at
I
the
did.
time.
I still don't. I don't remember what happened. It didn't fix it for me at all.
Apparently, it's the happy ending. They stay married.
I
She doesn't
don't
die.
care. Screw you. You don't get to have two endings to your show. That's not how that works.
Yeah,
Alternate endings in movies a lot of times aren't like a completely different path. It's like a little bit of a differently edited scene.
yeah.
You don't get to do that. You wrote it wrong.
However, so I haven't watched it because I wanted to see if you'd watch it. I thought we could watch it. I will
Yeah,
go watch
I'm
it.
down. We're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come back and talk about what we've been playing this week and some gaming news, I suppose. When we come back.
Yes. Stay
Yeah.
tuned. You see? Yeah, you see?
Huh.
I'm a mess. Don't know how I got here, but I'm blessed. Didn't know it'd take me past my destiny. You're behind me with the rest. 'Cause I'm a mess. No more you.
So now that we talked your ears off about the movie news and what we've been watching and what's been going on and TV, and there's been a lot happening in quarantine times.
Yes.
Whereas I think we'll have more of a drought next year. Things are very
Can't wait, honestly.
full flowing right now. You can't wait for a drought.
Yeah, I'm ready for just nothing to be happening.
I'm very much looking forward to that, and I'm like, oh, the never-ending content we've been smacked with. We can finally catch up on some of this stuff because it has reached a point where you can't do everything.
Yeah.
It's
No, you
nearly
can't at all.
impossible.
I can't watch everything either.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
it's
I have to pick and choose. So what have you been playing?
I started 2 games this week. I haven't played very much of both of them yet. Good couple hours in both, but I started a game highly recommended by you. I trusted your opinion. You talked so highly of it, so I bought The Messenger,
Oh,
and I
I'm
am
so scared.
thoroughly enjoying it.
Yes.
It
Oh
is
my God. Okay.
so much fun. The music is freaking awesome. It's really funny somehow. In just little text bubbles, like it makes me laugh. And even the actions like in the game. There's one point, man, mild spoilers for the very beginning of the
That's
game.
fine. That's
But
fine.
like
Believe
the
me,
guy
plenty
tells you,
happened.
he's like, "Oh, be careful, like jumping on the platforms because most people don't make it. You're probably gonna die." And your guy's like, "I got this." So you literally leave and you run and you jump and you just plummet. And I was it's like, this game is amazing.
It is some of the best writing I've ever seen. Period.
Yeah.
You can think you've seen it all. They just like I'm not even like without hyping it up. Like it's just so genuinely good.
Because I remember when you were talking about it, you said it's kind of weird. Like there's like a little bit of a weird vibe. And from what you were saying, I was like, is it kind of like Deadpool? It is sort of Deadpool-y. Like it's
There's a little
very
bit of
referential of the fact that they're well,
Meta.
it's very meta. Yeah. So I'm very much enjoying that. I can't wait to finish it. Dude, the music is so good. I want the soundtrack to that game.
I bought it.
Okay, nice. In what form?
On I Am 8-Bit, it was half off,
Yeah.
which told me because normally I Am 8-Bit vinyls sell out.
Yeah.
The fact it was half off, I'm like, not enough people know about this game.
I've never heard of it besides you.
Exactly. It's because 2018 was one of the most packed video game years in history.
Yeah.
That it fell so low. Because I've not played a lot of retro games, right? And I think it's the same for you. And this one just hits in the right ways. But the music was what Maya commented on.
Yeah.
Which she's like, "What are you playing?" Just hearing the music.
But it's not annoying. It's very repetitive, but it doesn't ever get old. Like every world has the same song, you know, or not from world to world, but like when you're in the world, it's just the same song.
Yeah.
On repeat. But
on loop.
It all fits so well, and it's that like awesome like 8-bit sort of sound to it, but they're bangers.
Yep.
I just found myself humming along to it as I went.
I haven't actually opened it yet. Otherwise, I would put it on display. But I'll bust it out. We will talk about this game again. I'm sure,
songs.
at some point. So
I'm excited
for next time. So what else have you been playing?
Something that you and I can both probably talk about, and
Yes.
with the maybe if she wants to talk about it too.
Not
I
now, but later.
finally started after all these years. The Last of Us. I tried to think of something funny to totally throw you off, but I couldn't think of it in time.
7 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a point where I never intended to play that game.
Yeah.
Not that long ago either.
Yeah.
Even knowing The Last of Us 2 was coming out, I was like, nah, I think I can pass.
Mhm.
But the world just kind of wore me down, and I heard people talk about it. Listening to Kind of Funny's like gaming content, which I didn't do last year. I only listened to like the movies and like that stuff.
General and movies.
Yeah, listening to the gaming content, I started to appreciate more like angles of the gaming worlds, and I was like, wow, this game really is special, and it means a lot to people. So I should experience it. So I've had the remastered edition on my PlayStation for probably 6 months at least. And so I finally downloaded it and started it. And
I want to add on that sentiment real quick, because this is a game that Maya would never play on her own.
Right.
But it's one that I feel like she needs to experience to just understand what the medium is capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Even 7 years dated. So I get that. I understand that sentiment.
So like my first reaction, and maybe it's because it's remastered, I would have to see what the game looks like in its original form, but like it's impressive for being as old as it is. The only thing is like some of the menus or like the pop-up screens are very PS3.
Yep. It's very identifiable as a PS3 game.
But the game is gorgeous. It looks amazing. So, and even the cutscenes aren't necessarily as impressive, as like a game engine or anything, but like there were points where they looked like real human beings. I was like, wow, this game is ridiculous.
Animations. It's the Naughty Dog animations that are arguably unparalleled.
And I instantly fell in love with the characters. Or at least some of them. There's only two that you really know of, and I'm sure that matter. One of them you meet right away, and I loved him right off the bat. That opening sequence of the game is brutal.
So I feel like this is tough. Okay. That has stuck with me since forever. Knowing that Maya was going to go through this.
Yeah.
Like this has been, now I've beaten this game start to finish.
Sure.
This is like a new experience for me.
Watching her do it?
Ways. Not having the controller in my hands, one.
Mm-hmm.
Watching her experience it being so long, and on the eve of the next game. There's a lot of things that like I'm really excited that I'm doing this too. It feels like it's new.
Yeah, I need to try and beat it in 20 days.
We are struggling too. But it's not that long. If you can put a couple good just chunks in there, like to get through it.
Because I remember you told me like there's not too much stuff that you can like really kind of veer off and do. Like it's sort of, from what I've played so far, it seems rather linear.
Yes. The veering off is to help you.
Yeah.
Like maybe find some more stuff. Like
sure.
But no, you can. There's the golden path, right? It's not usually used in games like this, but no, you're 100% right, and it's doable. 20 days is enough.
And I appreciate that, because sometimes having too many choices in a game is very overwhelming to me. So I appreciate the sort of limited possibilities and just kind of enjoying the story that this game has to offer. I will say, I don't know if I like stealth gameplay at all.
I know you've always struggled with that.
It's just kind of exhausting to me. And it might be some of the PS3 sort of like AI mechanics of this game, but like this game has been frustrating to me a couple of times, where I'm just like, can you just do what I want you to do? Can you please just walk over there? Like, I threw the brick, go walk over there so I can kill you, please. And they just don't do it. Or they all clump up in a group and then just walk straight to me. I'm like, why? Why did you do that? I've been
So
frustrated a number of times, but
this is one of the things that I've taken away, and I don't know if it's intentional or not, but I haven't played a game in a while, even Assassin's Creed, where you're stealthing around,
Mhm.
because those games are very predictable. Do the thing, and you figure out how to manipulate it, and then this game is intense.
Mhm.
Like it's exhausting, and so you saying that, I think it's intentional, and I think it actually adds to the atmosphere of what they're going for, of this survival situation.
Right.
I'm not 100% on that yet. I'm still like, we're very early on. And I definitely can see this leaning more towards unnecessary frustration rather than dramatic tension,
Sure.
which I'm hoping a PS4 game with years of experience will do a better job of balancing that. But that's really interesting, and I'm still exploring that through what we play, because when you're too frustrated, it reaches a point of not being fun and not being worth it, because you want to still feel like you were somewhat in control.
For sure. But like, I mean, you can play it multiple ways, right? Like, you don't have to stealth it. You can just run around and shoot. You're not really though, because you don't really ever have that much ammo. It doesn't seem.
And it's intentional. Like that's
Yeah.
all intentional. Now, if you can get really good and possibly if you can headshot everybody, but
Shooting is hard.
It's hard.
It's
Yeah.
very hard.
There were a number of times where it's shot around the head.
Yep. I'm like, I just wasted my entire clip. Okay.
But I love it because it adds to the.
I imagine that's how I would be, if I'm that freaked out and that like adrenaline pumped. Like, I don't know if I would even be able to do what I want.
And I figure over the course of the game, you'll get better. You'll get more accurate.
Well,
and
I'm interested to see how like the leveling up the guns and the different weapons and stuff kind of lends to that. I also didn't really understand the story. I always knew the two main characters. Yeah. But I didn't know. I knew the relationship between the two of them. I knew they weren't related.
Yeah, that's fine.
But like I didn't really know what was special about either one of them. I have found out what's special about one of them. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, I like this. I'm excited for this now.
I want to know how far you are.
So after that point, you kind of have to like run under the city a little bit and escape all the people looking for you. It's like dark and raining, and you're like in like tunnels. And after that point, are there levels in this game?
Without it being explicit.
Like, are there passages of time really besides just falling asleep, or is it all just kind of one point A to point B story? Because I keep finding I'm like, okay, maybe this will be like a night's break, and it just keeps going. I'm like, oh my god. So I just took a break at one point. I'm like, that was a good enough stopping point. I'll come back to it later.
So the first time we played, Maya made it about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
maybe an hour.
I played like 2.5 hours.
This is too intense, and it's getting a little bit better. She's getting a little bit more comfortable with the controls. This is probably the most complicated game she's played, other than GTA. But still, that you can get through in GTA without getting into all the nuances of the controls.
Yeah.
But she can do it. I know she can do it, and I'm kind of coaching her and helping her. And there was one point when you are creeping along, and it's very much tutorial at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you've got a bunch of guys, and it's teaching you how to move from one to one and take them all out. And I think she died probably 4 or 5 times. And at one point, she's like, "No, you can't do this." But when she figured it out, they didn't even see her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Look, you can do this." It just you gotta wire those certain connections in your brain, and so that's why I'm hoping as you go along it'll become less frustrating.
Yeah, I'm still very it didn't put me off at all. I still very much want to go back in and experience more of it. So I'm loving it so far, and I'm happy that I can hopefully maybe just go right into episode 2. And that's not the way it should have been. A lot of people had to wait years for it. But I think I'll appreciate that in a different way,
On that note, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm scared to play the second one.
So what are you gonna do? Is she gonna watch you, or are you guys gonna? You're not gonna play it together, or is it gonna be like your own thing?
I'm afraid she won't be able to watch me.
Yeah.
I'm scared about the second. I'm afraid I won't be able to play it, but I'm gonna make myself do it.
Did you hear the spoilers at all? Do you know
No,
anything?
I know no spoilers. We didn't watch the state of play. Now, Levin watched it, and I asked him because I was like, "You're gonna." Now he saw the spoilers, and he wasn't. He still hadn't been like sold on the game.
Did he seek
He's-
them out? Like, did he?
No, somebody blew it for him.
That sucks.
Some idiot. It's somewhere where it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went kind of like underground for a week or two because I knew people were going to be putting it everywhere.
I didn't even know that was a thing until like maybe a week or so later. I'm like, oh,
That's
they leaked the ending of that game. That
I don't
sucks.
even know if it's the ending.
Not even the end,
but-
just
or
some
they-
like a
some
pivotal
big
thing.
stuff. Yeah, some big stuff. And that's the thing about spoilers is like you don't know the whole story, right?
Mhm,
And things context matters a lot. But he was going to watch the state of play, and I was like, let me know if you think I should watch it. And he was like, no, you don't need to watch it. And I wouldn't. He was happy he watched it. I know enough from whatever E3 videos they showed us
Yeah.
and other little clips I've seen, but I'm even avoiding screenshots. I've seen some that made me get excited. I'm scared. I'm scared to play this, but it's going to be such a pivotal moment in the industry.
What are you
One that
scared
I
of?
missed- Huh?
What are you scared of?
The realism.
The quality
it's-
of it, you mean? Like
Uh-huh.
how real it will look and feel?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how
I'm-
gruesome it can be?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. A PS3 game is still a little
Video gamey.
video gamey, and I don't want to feel like I've committed murder.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna trust that won't happen. If I get to that point, I'll put it down. I'm prepared to put it down if I'm not comfortable, but I don't think that will happen.
I don't either.
I think I want to see. I want to see if that happens. That alone would be an accomplishment.
If they can make it feel that real that you don't even want to finish it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll talk about that then, and
Sure.
I'll have that frame of reference.
Sure. Yeah.
But I want to see. This is going to be the pinnacle, and then the next pinnacle will come, and then the next pinnacle will come, and I want to be there.
When
I
did the
wasn't there
reviews come out?
for 20? Huh?
When did the reviews come out?
I don't know,
I think it's soon.
but I don't want to know reviews. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's soon.
I'm just really excited because I just keep hearing like it's so up in the air. Like they don't know if this game is gonna be, for some people, even good. Like they don't even know if this game is gonna work. Obviously, it has to be good, right? But is it gonna be better than the first game? Is it gonna be 90 plus? But I'm excited just to see how people take it. The people who like actually have lived with this for 7 years and I've been waiting for it all this time. Like I want to know what Greg thinks.
I want to be a part of the conversation. I want to, whatever that may be. There's a lot going on being talked about Naughty Dog and what it takes for them to make games and everything around that. There's a lot going on here on the cusp of a new generation. It's also been confirmed to work on PS5.
Nice.
So that'll be like a day one function.
Cool.
And so I'm just all in
Yeah.
at this point, and we'll see. I'm along for the ride.
I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered that and Ghost. So now Ghost, right? Like, I think I remember from the video, you have the choice of doing it more stealthy or more
You can do either,
attacking,
yeah.
right? So okay,
And
good. If it encourages me
flip-flop
to
on the
do it
fly.
like one way or the other, then
Nope.
then I'll be happy to.
It won't.
Well, what do you mean?
You can literally do every single
No.
thing in whichever. It won't
No, I
push
know.
you one way or the
I
other.
mean, the game they've designed the game to where you can literally do it either way, however you want. Like The Last of Us, like you say, I think you're maybe more meant to try and do it stealthy
Yes, that's
than just run and shoot around. But like I think they've designed Ghost where if you want to just go and be like a murderous, crazy wrecking ball of a ninja, samurai, whatever, like you can do that. I think I might do that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna feel it out.
Yeah.
And they've said like everything they've shown you can do it another way.
Mhm.
They're not gonna be like this would be easier to do it with stealth. They're giving you the tool set,
Right.
and it's up to you. And I
Yeah,
love that.
I appreciate. So
Yeah,
I'm happy
I
about
really
that.
do. And they said the combat's challenging. That recently came up.
That sounds fun though.
People were asking, and so I love games where it's challenging to figure out, because then that slice is going to be so much more satisfying and earned.
For The Last of Us, I set my difficulty to like normal, like the second from the low. I'm not trying to struggle through this game. I just want to take it in and get it done. Because there was like 5 or 6 different difficulties.
I considered putting it on easy for Maya, and if it gets to that point, I will, because I just want her to experience the game.
Right.
She doesn't need to struggle.
No.
And I'm there to help if need be. One other thing that we were playing that. One other thing I played. So I mentioned I was playing Witcher.
Yeah.
So I finished the first expansion.
Nice.
Wow. Like, exceeded my expectations.
How long was it?
About 10 hours, 10, 12.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's solid. I mean, I played it over. I mean, I put some. There was some weekend time, and then fitting in time here and there. I also did a lot of tinkering, so that added hours. But it just feels so worth it. Like, it's so rich, and the story was. And I read some articles. Because they released this after the main game. It's arguably more concise and better than the story you get with the main game, even though that's more epic. Because it's so focused and concise. Like, what I expected going in, what I got starting, and what it ended up with at the end was nothing like I was expecting. And I don't want to spoil anything. I want to tell you all of it, honestly. But I would argue, just go play this expansion. Don't even. And they
can you do that?
You
can do that.
They designed it. They're so smart. Where if you just want to play the expansion, then you can load in and they give you a fully kitted out character at the right level. And
do you still have to own the base game?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Maybe not. But
that'd be really cool.
It would be a good way to get a taste.
Definitely. Yeah, a little bite-sized thing. Or like Spider-Man's not that long of a game, but just imagine if you just played the little side story, expansions, just free for cheaper too. You pay $15 and you get a little Spider-Man story. And then if you love it, buy the game.
Get the full version.
I like that.
We may see stuff like that next gen.
Yeah.
But I was floored, honestly. Cool. I was so invested. It was so fun and different, and the variety. I really don't know if you can manage Witcher. I want you to, but it's intense.
My life is gonna have to change. Like I need a lot more free time to be able to devote to a game that dense. Unfortunately, I would love to be able to, and I'm scared about upcoming games like Cyberpunk. But
honestly, I'm happy I did this to prepare myself for what Cyberpunk is going to be.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep bringing up Kind of Funny, but I literally listen to them hours out of the day. I forget. I think it was a Gamescast, and they mentioned this. The question was, what was the last midnight game release you went to? And I was thinking, I think it was Red Dead 2. And then I just got sad. Didn't play that game at all.
Did we do that?
Yeah.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
That was a great night.
Did we do that? Or was it just me?
I got it at midnight.
Okay, yeah, then we did that. There was one game that I went and picked up at midnight by myself for some reason.
I had an amazing experience that first night with Red Dead.
Yeah.
And then it was way too much.
Right. Because at first it wasn't really open. It was finish this little prologue, and then here's everything you can do, and you're like, oh god, no.
Bye.
Nope.
I'll play it on PS5 because I think on a big TV, I'll want to just kind of hang out in that world.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't hit the right. I mean, I hadn't wanted to play Witcher, and now I'm all in. So to add on that, I finished that expansion, and this morning I just started up the Blood and Wine, which is the big expansion. If you do everything, it could be 40 hours.
Jeez.
I'll probably put 20 hours into this because it's set in Toussaint, which would be phonetically in English Toussaint.
Uh-huh.
And it's like a French fantasy land.
Ooh,
and they've
cool.
ramped up the colors and everything. So everything is like bright green and blue sky and flowers and color and
That sounds
castle
awesome.
and
Because it's mostly kind of a gloomy game, right?
it's the north.
Yeah.
Is where it's set with like swamps and island, like Viking island kind of thing. And
Yeah.
it's pretty at times. Like we've talked about this before. The base game is very pretty. The lighting and some of the colors you get, but this is literally a painting, like a candy painting, and it's gonna be fun.
I like that it's like a festival sort of thing.
You're in like a French, like medieval fantasy.
Yeah, that sounds tight.
Land. Yeah, I'm excited to play. It's just gonna be fun, and then I can put it away forever.
Right.
Like years from now,
until
I'll
Witcher 4 in
again.
15 years.
Yeah, it probably will be.
Someone on Reddit posted today. They're like, it's been 8 years to the day since they announced Cyberpunk. I was like, oh my god, what?
And I've been waiting the whole time.
Yeah, I don't think I knew about it until much more recently than that.
Yeah, that's the case for most people, and be happy because it was just a lot of waiting and disappointment, and you had to just not think about it. But I'm excited to get that done and just keep moving through. It's fun. I mean, it's been a whirlwind to catch up on all this stuff.
I think I've been thinking today, I think I'm going to pick up, just because I'm in kind of a mood to play games that you've recommended to me.
Yep.
I'm going to pick up Golf Story.
Oh, yes.
I'm feeling like playing that game because I saw that like pre-orders were open for 2K21 PGA, whatever. I'm like, that looks kind of nice. But then I thought, like, let me play this game instead.
Wait, are you down to wait?
Yeah. I don't need to get that right away.
Next year. Let's get golf next year.
Okay.
So this is the first year of the 2K part. I wanted to get this one. The first trailer, a lot of people were like, this doesn't look great. And I want that next gen golf game.
Okay, yeah.
And I think next year, one more year of partnership, the next gen systems.
Let them get one game in, fix some mistakes, maybe.
And they're merging with the golf club. Like, I think this game's going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
The potential for and we'll look at reviews this year, see how it fares there.
Sure.
Because I'm all in on getting and having like a golf game again.
Yeah.
But I think let's
yeah, that's fine. I'm not clamoring for it, but when I saw it was coming, I'm like, a 2K golf game. That sounds kind of cool.
That makes me happy though that you said that, because yeah, I hadn't even thought about golf in years really, and I like that partnership.
Yeah. Is 2K ever going to make a football game? Again?
They don't have the rights, and they just extended it to 2026.
I'm just not interested in playing a Madden game.
Nope.
At all.
So we'll wait and see. Wait. Oh, Golf Story. I thought you were going to say they opened pre-orders for. Golf Story is getting a sequel, right?
Yeah, I think I'd heard about it.
And it looks even better.
Really?
So that alone is a reason to play Golf Story.
Cool. And it's sort of short, right?
Yeah, it's a fun, tight, short, contained.
It's like I can take it to work or something, you know? I could just play it on my lunch or something.
It's such a good Switch game, too. Yeah. And it's exclusive. So
I was... Is The Messenger on Switch?
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been a better Switch game, or is it good on PlayStation, you think?
Both. I'm considering...
It feels nice.
Getting it later on PlayStation to Platinum.
Oh, you played it on Switch?
Yeah, I have it on Switch.
Nice.
Because I think it debuted on Switch.
Yeah.
It only came to PS4 recently. And I like to play as much as I can games that are... Because it's an homage to like Super Nintendo and like NES era, like 2D platformers.
Right.
And so that just felt at home on Switch, but you're totally in the clear for PlayStation. I've heard good things about it.
It feels amazing so far.
And has trophies.
Yeah. Oh man, so satisfying. Wait, but can you get the same thing on Switch? Like, do they have the same like achievements, or do you just not get that?
No,
that sucks.
No achievements.
I mean, like they're obviously built in, like they're meant to. Oh no, I guess they came after. If it was made for Switch, Trophies would have come later.
Yep.
Interesting.
So that's why I'll get it later on. That's a game I will rebuy, give them more money, get it on discount, and play again to get all the trophies.
I love seeking out some trophies because there was definitely one thing that I was doing in the messenger. I'm like, this is going to give me a trophy at the end of this. I know it, and it did. I was like, yes.
So I still, without trophies, 100% of that game.
Yeah, like you know that there's nothing more you could have done.
I did everything.
Yeah.
There's probably some other secrets, maybe.
Did you say there's backtracking that you do? Like, do you go back and go to like earlier worlds once you have?
You just they just keep laying it on you.
Okay, I feel like you're lying, but
I don't remember
because I feel like you said that, and I've been looking for places in the world where that would happen. I haven't seen anything yet, like places I could access once I learn new things or something like that. I don't know.
No, I think they show that stuff. There's some stuff later, but
Okay.
nothing there.
Yeah.
You'll see. So there's really only one other thing to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought we could drop some theories and some predictions because we're now about 5 days.
It's black. The controller's
away
black. That's it.
Huh?
The controller's black. That's my only theory. It's black.
And we know that you're blind and your eyes are broken.
Just saying. I'm very happy that other people online thought the same thing as me because I was tripping out.
The dress is also only in one color.
I don't even remember what I saw, honestly.
It was blue and black.
I think that's what I saw. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. So yeah, sorry, I cut you off. Yeah, Thursday.
No. So Sony dropped the announcement that they're doing I just can't even get it all out. They're just messaging is so on point to the point that okay. What do you call it when you preface something?
Preface. You preface it?
Not spoiler, but
disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
There's no fanboyism going on here, and you can still accuse of that, but objectively, Sony is killing it with the messaging right now, and Microsoft is chasing to try to correct. I believe that Microsoft thought they had all the cards and that they were out ahead and they were hitting with the messaging, most powerful console, and then Sony just goes like, boop, and the whole internet loses its mind, and like they don't even have to hardly say anything.
Right.
And so Sony came straight out and said, we believe in generations. We believe in generations. We want this to be a huge change. We want it to be noticeable. We want people to be amazed and floored. Meanwhile, Microsoft's messaging this entire time was, don't worry, you can play on everything and everything goes both ways.
They're all sort of the same. It's just, it's a little better in the new ones. Like,
and it's a shame because their new console is super, super powerful.
Right.
And guaranteed they're going to have studios that put out games that are mind-boggling.
But they try to like blur the lines a little bit.
Which is a strategy that isn't necessarily bad, but then when Sony does this, it's so apparent how this is, in my opinion, a superior strategy.
Yeah. Because
now everybody's like, oh yeah, we want to see what the future is. I mean, it has spoken for itself with how people have reacted to the press conferences so far. People are ready for what's next. And Microsoft just came out and we're like, we also believe in generations. It's like when you
that's so lame. That sounds so lame.
It just like it's better to be quiet.
Yeah.
But it just sounds like you're us too. And it's like, stop, just let it speak for itself.
Do your thing.
Own it if you're doing that. And you know what? They've brought a lot of positivity with backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Like I applaud that. But my God, if I'm not excited for Thursday.
God, I don't even know. I might have to call off work if I'm working, but
I'm considering it.
What time is it?
A meeting or I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not missing it.
No.
Period.
Definitely not. Do you know what time it's at?
1:00.
Crap.
I probably just won't answer.
Yeah, anything. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm definitely not going to miss it.
Do you have work?
Yeah. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. I'll make it work.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
So Where do you want to start? We don't. There's nothing. First of all, nothing's known. Now, I think there's a good chance. I think now it's actually highly likely we see the console.
You do
I
know.
know. I know. I've been saying that. I think they don't show it.
Because you know how I feel. Like I know obviously gameplay is the important thing. What the box looks like on my shelf does not matter. It could look like a weird phallic thing, and that doesn't matter. If the games are great, that's what's important. I want to see it though. Yeah.
I am equally as excited for this box because it's the image, right? If all of a sudden PlayStation 5 was just in the cloud and we had amazing looking games, it would be sad.
Yeah.
Because you have something to associate those memories with.
I cherish that box. Like that PS4 will die someday and I will keep it forever.
And fill it with something. It'll
I'll taxidermize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No hope of ever resurrecting it. I'm just gonna gut it and just appreciate it.
Hey, we'll get good at modding and we'll mod multiple systems into it.
That would be awesome.
Or something like,
or just turn it into like your new PC case or something.
Yeah. Turn it into a PC case or something.
That would be sick.
Something crazy like that. So I want to theorize about what you wish to see, what your dreams would be, what you think you might see.
Are we talking about game announcements?
Huh?
Will games be announced on Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't feel like I know well enough, unfortunately. And do you think just PS4 exclusives?
No PS4 exclusives will be announced.
No. Why? No, I'm sorry.
PlayStation
exclusives. PlayStation exclusives. Is that all it's going to be?
Now everything. So Sony pivoted after Microsoft's 30-minute showing, and they're now doubling down on. And again, this is them having the ability to pivot at the and adapt. They don't want to show or limit as much as possible anything that's not running on a PS5 and that isn't first party and looking as good as possible. So there's probably going to be some third party stuff, and I have some theories about that. But no, running on a PC, and this is what it's probably going to look like. They want people to look at that and know that that exact thing will be on their TV. They've timed this the best they ever have. I believe that they have things in the pipeline the best they ever have, and I believe that this is primed to be the best console launch of all time.
Let's go.
My hype is through the roof. Back to the box, though, real quick.
Yeah.
You want to add?
No, go. Okay, no, we're not. I was going to say a game that I can predict probably, but.
So I was just going to say, I think that they show the box because everything is pointing to production starting. And when production starts, leaks can happen.
Sure.
And so I think even if they weren't originally planning to show it, they got to show that image of it.
Yeah. Just a little.
I think they'll do it at the end.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Swing with that at the end.
Yeah. Just massive. Just hit everyone in the face with it.
And also Jim Ryan said that this is going to be an E3 press conference that we're all in together. So I think this is going to be the most lit virtual presentation ever.
Not their awkward Matt Cerny? Mark Cerny?
Alana Pierce said this when she was on too, and it's the first person I've heard say this, and I 100% agree. I could listen to him talk for hours. I could listen to him talk about that tech for hours.
Not him. He was fine, but the production of that video was super weird.
Yes. 100 with the weird people.
Yeah.
Are those real people? Are those fake people? Is he really? Where is he? Yeah, that part of it was.
That was pretty weird. But so if they can, they've had plenty of time to figure out how to make this at home sort of production even better. So that'd be cool. Tell me, hit me with games because you're the wizard guru. I want to know what you think.
No, you go first.
Horizon.
100%.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's mine.
Every time I see an article that says or a post, do you guys think we're gonna see Horizon? I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, but do you guys think we're gonna see Horizon? I'm just like,
yeah.
I've been saying this for 2 years. The release schedules have been known for years. We have not heard anything for years. What was the last major exclusive to come out? Horizon Zero Dawn in 2017. That game took like 6 to 7 years to develop.
Jeez.
To
But once
build
you
that
have
engine.
that, once you have that baseline, like you can crank out a second one much quicker.
In theory,
Hopefully,
and then
a new generation might kind of slow that down a little bit.
Yeah. Well, no. No.
Depends.
Actually.
It depends on how intuitive it is.
Speed it up, and that's what I was going to say. Is we've gotten little nuggets along the way that have hinted at reasons why it's a shoo-in. One, they made a comment a few years ago about how they're working on so many more robot designs. And so it's like years ago, they already have all this stuff like created. And now we've had years. And then once Mark Cerny does his talk and talks about how development time is down, not only is development time down across the board, this is a first party studio that has access to all the resources and everything in theory. So I have 100% confidence that not only is Horizon going to be shown and blow everybody's mind, but will be a launch title.
Cool.
And I think that influence comes directly from Breath of the Wild. Seeing what that did for the success of the Switch. Sony went, okay, we have to do that.
Now, here's the real question.
Horizon and Breath of the Wild also released together.
Do you think we get Breath of the Wild 2 announced during this press conference? What do you think? Tell me your thoughts.
I think that Doug Bowser
definitely maybe, right?
Is going to jump out of a cake
in
the Horizon 2 demo. But he's going to look real, so it's going to be really confusing. And then we're going to have a direct within the presentation of him announcing
within her like cool like glasses hologram thing. Yeah,
exactly.
And then we'll just come right back out of it and then continue with the PlayStation 1.
We're not even going to talk about Nintendo. I don't know what is going on over there, but there will be plenty to talk about later.
Eventually, yeah.
But yeah, this is a shoo-in. I would, if I could have put money down on this 2 years ago, I would have.
You would have, yeah.
I don't know what the odds would have been, but the fact that people are still like, are we going to see Horizon? Like, I would bet my kidney.
Name?
Everybody says Horizon
2 Dawn.
1 Dawn.
1 Dawn, yeah.
And I'm just like, no.
That sounds stupid.
To me, again, obvious. The
Horizon Zero Dusk.
Huh?
Horizon Zero Dusk.
Exactly. No, the franchise is Horizon.
Yeah.
1, that's what everyone refers to it as. Hey, have you played Horizon? Zero Dawn is the first game. No idea what this one will be.
Yeah.
It'll be Horizon something.
Earlier today, I was thinking about it, and in my head, I thought Horizon, New Horizons. And for a split second, that sounded good. And I was like, wait.
What is that?
I don't know. It kind of sounds nice. Like, if they called it
New Horizons?
I don't know. It's probably been used hundreds of times.
Animal Crossing?
Is it?
Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm 99% sure that's what it is.
At this conference, we're going to find out that Sony and Nintendo bought each other, and they're now becoming one in the same, and everything is now linked and tied. Link to the past of Sony, and it's all going to be one.
Let's do it.
Right?
Hey, man, the next Vita, and then, oh my God, that would be a match made in heaven. I don't even want to go there.
Vita Switch, like, baby machine? Oh.
We may get a Vita 2 in the next few years, but my guess is probably not.
That'd be cool. All right, what other games? That was my one. I got 100%. So what else?
I thought you were gonna say another one. I wouldn't have predicted this, but I've seen a lot of people talking about it. Apparently, the next Call of Duty is on the horizon. But there's a rumored reveal coming up, and now everybody, based on Sony's relationship with Activision and Call of Duty this gen, they have been the exclusive partner, and that was huge, like contributor to the PS4's success and install base. At the end of the day, Call of Duty sells consoles.
Gangbusters, yeah. Black Ops 5?
That's what's rumored, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be the Black Ops 5 reveal at the event. And so as I was talking about like third party, that would be one of the third party ones that they show off.
Cool. I don't know if I would get it. I really don't know.
I don't know.
As much as I'm
probably
loving
get it.
this current game, like, I don't want to be addicted to buying every new Call of Duty game. Like, I got swindled into loving this game, you know? I'm not trying to keep that train going.
Yeah. It
I'm
goes
all
in
about the
waves.
battle royales. I'm not so much about just the multiplayer matches, and I've
I'm
never
sure.
been into the campaigns.
I would get it for the campaign, but
Yeah.
even then, I'm not like excited.
But Black Ops 4 didn't have one.
Crazy.
Maybe Black Ops 5 won't either.
Apparently, they had one, but it got cut.
Hmm.
And it was floating around recently. So for me, I think we'll see Call of Duty. The other one, I think that's a guarantee, is Gran Turismo 7.
Ooh.
That's just a staple. It's easy to make it like it'll probably look real, is my guess.
I would probably get that just to experience it on a new generation console, but I've been off of the Gran Turismo hype train for a long time too.
And with the DualSense,
True.
I want to see what that feels like in that new controller.
But I really feel like Gran Turismo should be played with a steering wheel.
We'll see, because I've heard good things about GT Sport.
Yeah.
And again, I'm more enticed by playing Forza than I am to play Gran Turismo. So they'd really have to sell me.
Yeah. Gran Turismo is one of my like earliest Gran Turismo 3, I think, one of my earliest video games. So like I definitely go way back with it, but
That's
I don't
cool.
I'm over it a little bit.
It's too sim. It's always been too
Very
sim.
too
and
sim.
a little too heavy.
I need a little more
feeling.
fun. Forza gives you the fun, I feel like.
And so that's why I'm hoping this next one blends that a little bit. If not, that's fine too.
What if it was open world though?
Yeah, like something I don't think they would
I
do.
don't
That's
think it will,
Horizon.
no. Yeah.
That's Forza Horizon. Man, Horizon is in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I told you, it sounds great.
There's also this is kind of separate from the PS5 event, but I'm going to throw this in there. June 2nd, which I believe is Tuesday. We're getting another reveal from Motive Studios in Montreal. This is pretty much confirmed. They will be showing off a new Star Wars game.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yes, and I know what is probably racing through your head right now, because it's like, what? A new Star Wars game all of a sudden out of nowhere? What's going on?
What would this be?
Codename Star Wars Maverick.
Okay.
There's been some leaks and reports and whatnot, and everything is pointing towards Tuesday now. Their Twitter account just popped up. They said something's going on.
Would this be a Game Fest thing?
I mean, everything kind of falls under that.
But like it'll be presented with that. It's not just gonna be like some like drop.
Nothing's been announced.
Okay.
It might just be a drop.
Interesting.
And just boom. And the reason I brought this up, tune in Thursday for the gameplay reveal of Star Wars Maverick at the PlayStation 5 event. Announce the game Tuesday, show the game Thursday.
Oh, I see. As another little incentive, another alley.
And that would be the other third-party game that I think could be shown. And potentially just those two.
Very cool.
With everything else being first-party. Now, they've said this event is going to be an hour.
Oh, God.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's...
World premiere. World premiere.
Yeah, that's really become a thing now. I like it, though. I get excited for world premieres.
Even though, when everything is a world premiere, is it as exciting? But...
Yeah, right. It's like, wait, how much weight does this actually have now?
Right.
I've really only got one other thing that I'm like, and Blue Point, and they just dropped another tweet, I think today or yesterday. They will 100% be there. I have a feeling they'll be at launch. But Blue Point Games is the one that's been remastering and upgrading. So they did the Uncharted collection.
Mm-hmm.
They did Gravity Rush remastered. And then their kind of claim to fame now was the Shadow of the Colossus remake, which people lauded.
Cool.
I've still got it in the packaging, but I'm going to play that on the big TV, because that's always been my dream, is to play Shadow of the Colossus as I saw in Reign Over Me, the Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
He plays Shadow of the Colossus on a big TV in a dark room, and it has been burned in my brain ever since I saw that.
That's funny.
And I've not had the big screen. I played it on the PS3 when they did the collection, but this is going to be the beautiful 4K big TV Shadow of the Colossus experience. Okay. Everybody has been saying that they're remaking Demon Souls. Demon Souls was a 2009 exclusive, PlayStation 3 exclusive from Software. And I didn't stutter. From Software. That then became Dark Souls, which was multi-platform.
Wait,
Now,
really?
Dark Souls transformed the entire gaming industry.
Yeah.
And has arguably been the most influential game over the last 10 years. I'm seeing that pop up a lot of places, and it's like it's totally changed game design. It's in Jedi Fallen Order. That's got Souls-like gameplay.
How close did those? There's 3 of them, right? Dark Souls games.
Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and then they made Bloodborne, which was is considered one of the best PS4 games.
So
one of the biggest PS4 games.
How close did 1, 2, and 3 come out? Because I feel like it was very quick.
5, 6 years.
Really?
Probably.
That much? But
Yeah,
I mean, still, that's
years.
still pretty fast.
Yeah, I agree. I think 3 was PS4, but
Okay.
Or late PS3 and then I'm not 100%. But I'm with you where it was like we just kind of got hit with a bunch of these, and then Bloodborne just blew up, and then they made Sekiro with Activision, but that's kind of different.
Keep forgetting that's Game of the Year.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
I forgot that got Game of the Year. Wow, good for them.
Yeah.
I always think of Control as the game that everybody talked about last year. Now, Demon Souls was From Software's first Souls game, but it was on PS3. I don't think it was popular, but it's also the oldest one. So that's been one of the big rumors that they're remaking it. If they do that, fine, I'll get it for sure. I'll get it.
Yeah.
And play that. But it's just such a boring, like if they just run out and say Demon Souls, like we'll be like, oh, okay, we've known about that. Everybody's been talking about that for years. But a big rumor dropped, which is probably not true, but boy, do I want it to be true. And it's that they're remaking the Jak and Daxter games.
Oh.
And reimagining them as one game.
The same people that made Jak and Daxter made the Souls games?
No.
Ooh. They're remastering. And that's
where we gotta let me reestablish ourselves. From Software, made the Souls games,
right? But yeah,
they are doing their own thing. Blue Point is a PlayStation studio.
Gotcha.
The rumor is that they're remaking the first Souls game. That was a PS3 exclusive.
Gotcha.
That's been the popular rumor. However, a new rumor says, and they actually have 2 teams, and one of the things they're making is a Jak and Daxter, which was made by Naughty Dog, that they are refreshing it for PS5.
So how can they do that? Is it because they are like PlayStation entities that they can kind of pass that around if PlayStation wants them to?
Yep.
So like Naughty Dog doesn't even own the rights.
Yep, they do. And apparently they're working with them.
Okay, gotcha.
Which would make sense because really every single person is working on Last of Us. I mean, maybe. But that seems like you didn't have anybody doing anything else.
Right.
I mean, they're rumored to be doing a sci-fi game next, potentially. But I want this. I so unashamedly want this.
So it's supposed to be like you said. They're gonna kind of reimagine it all in one.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
You watched the Mark Cerny talk, right?
Yeah.
He dropped a weird reference.
I don't remember what it was to though.
Jak 2.
Right.
He showed the map of Jak 2.
Right. And I remember because I had barely started playing one of those games. I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. Because you had told me that those games are essentially like no load screens.
That was the first Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
The first game ever with no load screens. And they did it legit. Hey, what is the PS5 supposed to be known for?
Little to no load screens.
They're going no. I think they're really trying to go no.
Yeah.
No loading.
So
The death
present
of
that
loading.
with Jack again, but like even in an even more impressive way. Like we're not even cheating with like these hallways that like we unrender everything behind you. It's like it's literally just this powerful.
And so if it's a reimagining, I saw somebody float the idea of, yeah, so that map where they had to wind it, if they're reimagining it, they don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
Blow it out. So I think this would be a beautiful way to do this.
Even if it doesn't resonate with everybody, if they don't all understand like why it's so cool, like it still is really cool and special.
It'll stand on its own.
Yeah.
And then for its place in history will also be significant. I will lose my Jesus if this happens, because it also means a 4 could be on the way.
Cool.
A Jack 4 could be on the way. I'm trying not to think about it too much and not get too excited, but I also believe it would be a launch game. Or very soon after. Jim Ryan also said all first-party games are on schedule for launch.
Yeah.
Next year, we don't know.
Who knows?
We have no idea. But
because once the ball's rolling, it's a little bit easier to keep it rolling. But if you're like just getting started, it's like
getting people in a room together to be creative and throw ideas back and forth and ideate like that is really that is more difficult to do on a Zoom call.
For sure.
It's not impossible.
No,
but more difficult.
You can't like spitball off of each other quite as easily.
So we're gonna get something from Blue Point. And I'm excited. I think they're entering the annals of PlayStation royalty at this point. They've just hit so well on everyone.
Yeah.
There's actually another game that they're rumored to be reimagining, and that's Legacy of Kain, which is another PlayStation 1 game. I've not played it, but I've heard that pop up a lot as PS1 games that need to be redone. So bring it all on. I don't care. Whatever it is, it's going to be awesome. And I don't think I'll even be disappointed if the Jack and Daxter
if it's just Demon Souls.
Yeah, I don't think I can be disappointed
because it still leaves room. The less they announce, that's that much more space in the rest of the show for other people to announce stuff. Like you're not going to be without content to be looking forward to. So
nope. And so we know what Naughty Dog's doing. They've got Last of Us coming out
right now. The game's done, so they're actually currently doing nothing.
Sucker Punch, though. Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Sony Santa Monica. God of War came out 2 years ago. They're working on the next God of War.
Being worked on, yeah.
That is not where we will maybe see that next
2
E3.
years. Okay.
Maybe next E3, maybe even next PSX, next Game Awards. Maybe at this point, probably 2022 E3 at this point.
Yeah. With all that's going on.
There is a tiny possibility that we get a Spider-Man tease.
On Thursday?
On Thursday.
Wow.
We're getting a Horizon blowout, in my opinion. We could get a Spider-Man
That would be the flagship. Yeah.
I think we could get a Spider-Man tease. I think there's been enough time, and Spider-Man's not as big as God of War. I don't think it's by any means guaranteed, but there's a possibility we get a Spider-Man.
And when you say tease, you don't mean it'll be out at launch.
No.
But...
Oh, no. Just it's in development.
Right.
And maybe a cool cutscene or something like that.
I would love that.
Because I think we're going to get something from Insomniac. And if it's not that, then I think it's going to be the next Ratchet and Clank. Potentially.
Isn't there a remaster of those coming out, or
so Ratchet and Clank is one of the ones that they did a reimagining of that first game with new graphics, and they kind of tweaked some of the gameplay and restructured it.
Right.
And that came out for $40, and people were like, "That's weird." And then it was a full game and really, really well received. I still haven't played it. It's on my list for this year.
Yeah.
There's one other one that I was just So another rumor is that Sony is firing on all cylinders. So apparently their studios have been underground for the last 2 years working on PS5.
Okay.
Which is why there's, I think, going to be so prepared for something. No generation has transitioned like this before. But there's a rumor that there's a second San Diego studio. So the one San Diego studio makes the baseball game, MLB The Show.
Right.
There's a rumor that they opened another San Diego studio.
I love that there's a rumor that there's a studio even.
I want to say the studio is confirmed, but I don't think
What
it's
they're
been
doing, we don't know.
officially like introduced.
Yeah.
That they're working on Uncharted. That Naughty Dog has handed that off, and they are going to continue the Uncharted legacy.
I did hear about that, I think, yeah.
That's kind of been out there.
Yeah.
But that, because Naughty Dog, it needs to move on and make something new.
Because they did 4 games and like side games too, right?
No, Golden Abyss was made by Bend, who made Days Gone.
Okay.
Which they're probably also working on their Days Gone sequel, but that's 2 years from now.
Sure.
We'll see that.
I do want to play that one day. I really do. Just because that was like that and God of War and maybe one other game were like Death Stranding, I think maybe.
That
were part of that like first like video, that E3 video that we sat down and watched. And like when I first posted to the Hebrew Rebels Instagram, I was like,
there's
whoa.
something we really hit the timing well with that.
Days Gone, there's like, even though it's as zombie hordes and stuff, which is not my thing, there's a little bit of a connection with that to me. So I kind of want to play that one day.
I want to play it. Yeah, we maybe my only hesitation is people say it's long.
Really?
And bloated, and that's the reason I don't want to play it.
Yeah.
Like good, like the bones are really good.
Maybe I don't need to beat it then. Maybe I just need to play it just to do it a little bit of a service.
Or just kind of get through it as fast as possible.
Or that, yeah, just
to have it in the brain.
Yeah.
So
where are you at with Death Stranding?
When it's affordable and my backlog is clear, I will play it.
So rush. It's not a priority for you?
Not at all. Yeah. Kojima's next game won't be out for years. So
sure.
The other crazy thing we could get is a Silent Hills remake or Silent Hill of some sort that's been floating around. Whatever it is, it's going to be amazing. My long shot would be, let's see some photorealistic NBA footage from the next 2K. Because that's one of my memories from the PS4 launch.
Yeah.
2K14 was arguably the best looking game when the PS4 came out.
Yeah.
It was the most next gen looking game out.
And that makes sense because it's really all there is to work on is like how the people look. There's not a whole lot, much else to it. I feel like the stadiums are pretty easy to do, so you got to make the people look really good.
2K's stadiums have always disappointed me, and if they don't look good, bye.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for it to not look incredible this gen.
No,
with all the tech that they're gonna have at their disposal now. And one of the hesitations for me playing 2K is the loading and loading and loading and loading. If I can just click, boom, and have a photorealistic basketball game on, I'm gonna get that.
Is a photo mode? Is that a thing in 2K? Would you want that? I think that'd be cool. I guess there's probably replays, right? There's definitely replays. Yeah.
But if it looks realistic and I'm like, get some kind of poster dunk, I want a photo mode where I can create posters and stuff.
Because I'm remembering Madden, and there was definitely replays, and then you could like have a floating cam, and you can like go and find it where you want, and then probably get rid of the HUD and stuff. So
I've always loved graphics, and Madden. I remember PS3, they did a engine upgrade, and they showed some screenshots before the game came out where you could see every individual blade of grass.
Yeah.
And then you show gameplay, and it's not like that.
No.
There's a bubble. There's a little bubble around the player where it's high resolution, and it moves. And it moves wherever it's focused, and everything else is low. And I was just like, no, this is
so cheating.
Ridiculous.
Oh god.
It hurts more.
Yeah.
Knowing what it could look like, but it doesn't really look like that. But we'll see. I think we'll get some kind of sports game.
You got to always have one of those, I feel like.
But with what's going on right now, normally 2K, the next 2K would have been announced. The NBA season might not is currently slated to resume July 31st.
Are they going to do what the NHL is doing, where
the
they
NHL made an announcement?
The NHL scrapped the rest of their season and they're just going to do the playoffs when they can play again.
That's currently being floated
with
around.
more teams.
I heard that too for the NBA. I haven't seen, nothing's been confirmed. I think they're still waiting to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm terrified. I heard NASCAR's back.
It is? Oh, dude, they've done 5 races already.
That's what my grandpa, he's like, yeah, during the week, they're just going. I'm like,
it's insane.
What about Sundays? He's like, they raced on Sunday too.
Sunday and Wednesday, they got rained out on Wednesday, so they did it Thursday. It's just like, okay, here we go.
Wow.
Yeah. They got to squeeze in something. It wasn't really very exciting, but I'm happy it's back. But like the racing, without, not the fans really add too much to like the TV show, but it just
the energy.
It's an energy
thing. Knowing it's a live event with people there, and that's what I'm so nervous about.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, look, they're playing
basketball. Yeah,
but the thing is like during the summer, during the lockout, like you see these guys playing in a gym, and like everybody is so hyped about it. So it might work.
Maybe they should just not play it in an empty arena, and they should play them somewhere else where it could like have a little bit more of a heightened energy because it's a smaller space.
That's a good idea.
That could work, because I feel like having such an open, empty, echoey, dead feeling building, it's like, it's so eerie. But if you play like a practice facility, then there could have that like pickup sort of vibe to it, and it might give them.
I'm just whatever.
Why not at this point, right?
Whatever happens. I don't even know what to think or feel or anything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
I think we got everything.
I think we did. We will think and feel much excitement on Thursday. This is what happens when what?
When we wait.
Yeah, we pushed it.
In news, and there's been a combination of news and lots happening. And
we wouldn't have had a lot to talk about on Tuesday, so.
Oh.
Maybe Nintendo, we can. If I'm able to get work off, maybe we can watch the thing and then do a podcast after.
Yeah, I'm super down.
I think that would work well.
Yeah. Whatever works for you.
But thank you. Thank you for joining us on this episode. Thank you for watching and listening. If you haven't watching, you can listen to us on the podcast, the Apple Podcast app. And you can also watch us on our YouTube channel, the Hebrew Rebels channel. We do reactions to these Summer Game Fest streams, and we also react to TV shows and movies if they pique our fancy. So give us a like, give us a subscribe, comment, let us know what you want us to talk about if that ever is something that you want to engage in.
I want to know what your predictions are for Thursday. Let me know what you think about my predictions and Jordan's prediction.
Just say yes. Just say yes to Jordan's prediction.
Are you excited? Do you know which console you're getting? Do you have a PS4? Or do you want to upgrade? Do you have any idea when that's going to happen?
Do you like my new lighting setup? Let me know if you like my new lighting setup.
And my same lighting setup, which will soon be changing. The upgrades are coming.
Give me 2 colors.
Purple.
Okay.
Dark purple.
Okay.
And light purple.
I thought about it, but it doesn't.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I know. Like it works. Purple doesn't pick up as well as like pink for some reason. Like that's the purples for some reason. But how about green and orange?
That's what it was. No, it was green and purple.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's changing. It's changing now, though. It's a little bit more red and blue. Anyways, we are.
Make it all purple.
We've got nothing else. My name is Jordan.
And my name is Ethan. We are the Huber Rebels.
Until next time.
Welcome to the rebellion.